Hello subscribers, this is yours truly JBlue68 and today is August 1st and I'm coming to you with a late comic book haul. This is going to be a super duper comic book haul because it's going to consist of comics that have come out over the last 2 weeks, this past Wednesday and the Wednesday before. And it's not my fault, my comic books were late unfortunately. They were delivered late by UPS. The lady who delivered them had an attitude and she took my comic books and threw them at the door. Man, I almost ran outside the door and did like Mr. Fantastic here and stretched my arms and grabbed her by the hair and... Okay, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, this video is not intended for children. This is for adults. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Type the like button on your way out. Tap the notification bell, I should say, on your way out so you can get more videos like this as I post them immediately. But this again is going to be a large haul. We're going to start off with the actually Diamond Previews with this beautiful cover of the Fantastic Four, one of my favorite superhero teams and families, the first family of Marvel, with a new series that will be coming out this fall. And this is really an astounding cover. It's by Mark Brooks. It says here, written by Dan Slott and R.B. Silva. Okay. It says, there shall come a reckoning, and obviously it's going to involve the children of the Fantastic Four. Something is going to be happening very seriously. All right, this is the Diamond Previews, and after that we have the Marvel Previews. The second cover that will be dealing with the much anticipated X of Swords. That is a very nice cover. I have no idea who these characters are. They're all new characters, obviously. That will be giving hell to the X-Men. And I've really been enjoying the X-Men stories and what Jonathan Hickman has done to them. Alright. I have so many comics here that I'm actually going to have to do these in 3 different parts. And I'm more than prepared. Let's put this back here. And the first or next comic books we're going to do are going to be all Marvel. Here's Marvel Empire book number 2. And in spite of some light criticisms, I've been enjoying this story very much. It's not rushed. I'm enjoying the characters. They're actually first appearances too. So I really suggest you get on board this story. I believe it's going to have repercussions seriously in the upcoming future of the Marvel Universe, especially with this guy here, Emperor Hulkling. And this is a really interesting book. It gets into some very touchy subjects, specifically of the life of this guy here and how he becomes the emperor of the leading both the the Skrulls and the Kree Empire, uniting them against a common enemy. And I don't want to tell any more than that. Up here we have Empire Fantastic Four Avengers Book 3 with the Black Panther on the cover, and it looks like General Okoye as well. Alright. I think that's Gorilla Man or something. This is a variant edition. Then we have Avengers Empire number 1 with Captain America. I don't like that drawing of Captain America. The rest of the characters look cool, but something about his face, where he drew his face, it looks like his face is sagging or something. That looks bad. And there's a Black Knight right there. And I like this iteration of Wanda, Scarlet Witch. Then we get into our X-Men Empire stories, 1 of 4. This is a side story outside of the main X-Men stories by Hickman. But this is a 4-part series, mini-series. Again, a tie-in into the Empire stories. And if you're not interested in the tie-ins, then don't worry about it. I like that stuff, so I love the tie-ins as well as the main stories most of the time. But this is book 10 of the main series of the X-Men here, and that is a really astounding cover there. I'm really liking that. It looks like they're on the island of Krakoa. This book here looks kind of wacky. I kind of dropped off from reading it. New Mutants. I don't know. But I don't know how much longer I'm going to continue this. This is book number 11. And if it does nothing for me, I'm going to have to remove this from my pull list. And here's Marauders. I've been enjoying this story. This is book number 10 by Gerry Duggan, Stefano Caselli, and Edgar Delgado. Another good book on the House of X Powers of 10 stories. And this one is too, definitely. X-Men and the Fantastic Four. And they're dealing with Reed Richards' son and determining if he should be an X-Men or or a mutant, I should say, or continue to be a member of the Fantastic Four as his powers continue to grow, and he's under the influence of this guy here, the Madman Dr. Doom. And then we have Cable number 2 by Gerry Duggan as well, and Phil Noto. And it looks like Cable is a gigolo. It looks like a gigolo. He's getting all the ladies. His Stepford Cuckoos. They're all over him too. Oh wow. Getting all the ladies, huh? This is a young version of course, Cable. And then we have book number 3 by Benjamin Percy of Wolverine. I haven't really, let me move this camera up a little bit. I haven't really read this series yet, but it looks interesting, you know. And they brought Wolverine back so many times, but we'll see what happens. This is a parental advisory suggested on this book. Then we get into book number 1 of X Factor. This is written by someone by the last name of Williams. I'm not sure who he is. That's an okay cover there. You know, that's Dakin right there. And some other characters, an Eyeball Man, and some other characters I'm not really familiar with. I think that's North Star right there. Hey, book number 5 of Thor, written by Donny Cates. He is, that brother's on fire, man. He's become like the Prince or Michael Jackson of comic books now. Whatever he touches turns to gold. I read book number 4 of this, and it was awesome. Can't wait to read this one, with assistance from Nick Klein and Matt Wilson. Then book number 9 of The Black Cat, with artwork, of course, by J. Scott Campbell. Been enjoying the artwork from these stories more so than the stories themselves. But hey, she is the lady, or the finest lady of the Marvel Hour. Then we get into the new Spider-Man story. If you can see that, and I'm going to lower the camera. This is called Sins Rising. This is a prelude to this story by Nick Spencer with Guillermo Sana and Jordi Belair as artists on this story. Then we got a free comic book with Spider-Man, Venom, and Black Cat all together in this story by Donny Cates, I believe. Or there's a variety of stories with a variety of writers. Okay. All right. So, and that ends this particular batch of comics. Now we get into some of our DC and our independent comics. This is, what is this here? This is Dark Knight's Death Metal issue number 2. And I'm loving that cover, that metallic cover there. That is very nice. I don't have very many DC comics here, but this is On a Highway to Hell. Okay. Look at that glowing cover. That is really neat. Also for Free Comic Book Day, we have Batman Overdrive in this miniaturized comic book. And now we get into our independent comics, starting with Dark Ark Instinct. This book was recommended by comic book philosophers Rock and Robbie Billups, written by Cullen Bunn, Antonio Fuso. And it has to deal with, I believe, what the flip side of Noah's Ark. What if the devil, I guess, won or was the victor during the Old Testament, and the Dark Ark actually took a Noah's Ark story actually took a dark turn, something like that. But this is under Aftershock Comics, and again written by Cullen Bunn. Can't wait to read it. Then we have Horizon Zero Dawn, also a free comic from Titan Comics. I have no idea of the premises of the story, but can't wait to read it. Like that cover though. And then we have Yasmin. This was special ordered for me. I heard about the story of an Arabic young lady dealing with some very tumultuous situations in her life. Her past life and some things that she's dealing with in her present life. And this is written by Saif A. Ahmed. I'm not sure if this is a relative of Saladin Ahmed, but it looks very interesting from what I heard of the story, and I definitely had to have it in my collection. This is from Scout Comics. And I think this is a one-shot. Then we have Bloodshot with Vin Diesel on the cover. I don't like that cover. I don't like when they put actual, studio pictures on the cover of comic books. But anyway, the movie bombed, but the comic book is very popular, and I'm going to read this and see if it does anything for me. This is under Valiant Comics, and it also features XO Man of War. Now this has been doing very well. This is The Boys, book number 1, and it has a spin-off story called Dear Becky. But I've never read The Boys before. I'm glad to have this in my collection, written by Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. All right. Beautiful cover here. Variant cover. Spawn number 308, of course, by Todd McFarlane. And I really love that cover. That is awesome. It looks scary, creepy. All the things I expect Spawn to be. That is awesome. Very nice. Then we get into Lost Soldiers, book number 1. I think of a 5-part series. This is under Image Comics, and I've heard a lot about this story as it deals with Vietnam or war veterans, I believe, and their story. The lives that they had, the things they had to deal with in their lives when it comes to dealing with war. I heard a lot of good things about this book, so I can't wait to read it. And I believe, again, it's a 5-part series. Then what is a comic book haul without Stranger Things? Dig that. Also for Free Comic Book Day. All right. And then last but not least, I believe we have That Texas Blood book. No, this isn't the last book. That Texas Blood book number 2. I loved book number 1. It was a slow burn, but it was very interesting. Very much a mind-blowing comic book, but dealing with some surreal and realistic situations. I'm not sure exactly what is going on yet, but I'm sure we'll find out soon in the follow-up book written by Chris Condon with Jacob Phillips under Image Comics. Definitely suggesting this for a read. Now, last but not least, we have Grit number 1 under Scout Comics, and I've also heard a lot about this book. The guy who's killing goblins or creatures of some sort. It's a very graphic comic book, but I'm glad to have it in my collection, definitely. So that's a lot of books, man. That's over 30 comics. Independent, DC, and Marvel comics all in one video. You can't beat that with a long-handled Thor hammer. Whoa, okay. All right, so that's it. That's all. I hope that you all have enjoyed this comic book haul. I'm about to drop these books here. I hope you've enjoyed this comic book haul.